Thank you, Mark. At 8:37, check out your forecast. Brought to you by Kitchens Plus. Get a free countertop with your purchase of Dynasty cabinets at Kitchens Plus in Burlington. We'll see sun today with highs near 88 and northeast winds at 5 to 10. Clouds tonight, lows down to 63. And sun again on your Tuesday with highs up to 87. He joins me across the studio. It is the one and only, the incomparable Mark Morris.
Okay. Long reach for that.
Yeah,
did I do that?
I think I did by mistake. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
And actually on the phone right now, I've got our Burlington Bees guy, Mr. Dan Trivinos.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good.
You sound wide awake and happy, Dan.
Hey, I am very happy, all right? I might not be as awake as I should be, but I'm quite happy.
Can I ask what time did you go to bed?
I went to bed at a decent hour. I was up writing the game story for the game and getting ready for today's game, that's all.
So, 2 a.m. Okay, gotcha.
Matt, you know me too well.
Don't worry, I did the exact same thing, and then I woke up at 5:30.
In a few minutes.
Yeah, the snooze button was my friend this morning, and I almost didn't make it. So talk to us about Burlington Bees baseball. What's on the schedule for today?
Well, today they got Drew Grenier going on the mound. He's going to try and get his 10th win. It's been a bit of a struggle for him to get that sort of milestone, that 10th win of his, and he's just been one of the best pitchers in the entire league. So hopefully he gets it done today. And I got to tell you, it's an entirely different team here in the second half of the season. And whether the record totally reflects that or not, you can sort of tell these guys seem to have a much better attitude. They seem to be a lot more confident. And I think they're actually enjoying themselves a lot more. They went through a rough patch a couple times in the first half. It doesn't seem to be happening here through the first 15 or so games in the second half.
I was going to say, because their record right now in the second half is 10-7, right?
Right. Yeah, and that's obviously much better than it was in the first half. You'd still look for even more improvement, but again, it's really what you can tell on the field. You can see these guys have answers in situations when they didn't have answers before, and things are all starting to come together. Like yesterday, they had their pitching, their defense, and their offense all working in the same game. They need to do that a lot more than they did in the first half.
Well, and even with that record right now in the second half, they're still tied for first place with, King County, Clinton, and the Quad Cities, so they're not doing too shabby.
No, not at all. They got off to an awesome start. They got their first series sweep after the first series of the second half, and since then they've really been flying. And when they've dropped out of first place to second place, like you said, they get right back into first place, and that's what I mean. They just have these answers for the times where they have a rough game. Next game, they respond, just like they did yesterday.
Got a silly question for you, Dan. Whatever happened to Dusty Robinson?
Well, Dusty was playing so well, as this always seems to happen. He was promoted, and I'm glad you asked that, though. He's done a pretty good job in advanced state ball. His batting average dropped a little bit, but he already has 9 home runs, just like he had with the Bees. So the power is still there, and I know that he is one of the more focused guys, a very good natural hitter. Things are going to work out well for him. But I'm glad you asked, just because this team lost a lot of talent throughout that first month. There were a few guys who are players of the week, pitchers of the week. They've advanced, except for Drew Grenier. There's a chance he will at some point. And somehow here in the second half, getting a new flux of talent coming in, and they're still actually doing much better. So it's good to see that, and I think you have to tip your cap to their skipper, Aaron Nakula.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And so what? The Bees are home again Wednesday. 6-game homestand?
Yes, they are. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
6-game homestand, and I know when they're back, you actually owe me a pizza.
I know, Matt. You don't seem to ever let me forget about that. Every homestand, I think I hear about it.
He's very petty.
I'm petty, and I'm very, very skinny, and I need food. That's how this works.
I agree with that. I don't need as much pizza as you do, but I'll probably eat as much as you do.
If not more. That wasn't a dig at you either, I swear.
No, I understand.
And I just have to ask, because we do the pick-to-clicks thing every game.
Yes, we do. And
do you know the current standings off the top of your head? Who's ahead, you, the fans, or KBUR?
I believe I'm ahead. I should be at around 6, 7, and 2, which would be 6 wins, 7 losses, and 2 ties. Something around there. KBUR, I apologize. They have fallen way back. The fans are doing much better than them. I'm doing better than the fans, but I'll admit it's a bit of a corrupt game since I do get the final say at the end of the night.
That is true. And Mark kind of looked at me with a question like, what is this? The pick-to-click is where the fans can email into Dan, and then we here in the studio and we all pick a player that we think is going to do the best in the game.
Oh, okay.
And since Dan actually ends up picking the pick to click at the end of the game, I think he cheats.
It's probably only one of many ways that I cheat, since I have all the information I need before I make my pick.
Exactly. See, you know what I do? I have a little piece of paper here in the studio, and some days I'll be like, you know what? 8. And I'll check the name and tell you the name. Other days I'll throw something at it, like I'll put it on the wall and just throw a pin at it, and whatever the pin hits, that's what I go for.
Hey, it's worked before. Tyler had like a 5-game winning streak. Tyler Hackenmiller, of course. But you've done a good job, Matt, especially recently. I
appreciate that. I think I picked left field the other day and third base yesterday. So that's all I care about.
We'll see who you get today too.
Actually, I don't have you today, sadly.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, why don't you get around KBUR and see if everyone can get in on this today? I'm
submitting second base right now without even looking at who it is.
All right. Well, I won't know until I get to the ballpark today.
Okay. There it is. That's our pick to click. Dan Trivinos, thank you very much for waking up early, joining us, and talking Bees baseball. We'll see you back at Community Field Wednesday for a 6-game homestand, all right?
Yeah, thank you very much, man. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Dan.
Cool, man. And time for a check of more sports. Here's Radio Iowa.